Hey, welcome to the Movie Academic Podcast. Happy Mother's Day to all cat moms, but not dog moms, because dogs are man's best friend. Welcome to the Movie Academic Podcast. I'm your host, Buck Hollywood LeDuc, joined as always by Charlie J. Fox. Welcome to the show.
And of course, a big Mother's Day to Buck LeDuc as well. Not many people know this, but Buck LeDuc is the mother to at least 17 different. I want to say babies, but they're not all human, but mostly. So God bless. He birthed all of those babies. Congratulations on that. And
My dick hole.
yeah, just straight out of your dick hole. So last night, apparently, I found out something fun about myself that I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently, if you put enough beers into me, I
You're
do. Well, yeah, but that I don't even think you need beers for that. But you put enough beers into me, and apparently, I'll sing All Stars Smash Mouth or Smash Mouth All Star at karaoke, accompanied by Nickelback's Photograph. And then once I get really drunk, I just start doing Disney songs. So that's something I learned about myself last night.
You coming through for Smash Mouth on my birthday?
Shit, dude, I really want to. Like, I would love to. Like, what is it, in like a month?
Yeah.
I would love to if I had the time and or / money, but I can't. I can't come home. Can't come through for that Smash, dude. I can't believe you're going to
Smash Mouth on my birthday.
That's the greatest present I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. Anyway, what are we talking about today on the show here, Charles?
Today, we're going to talk about some movie films. We're going to talk about some cartoon turned non-cartoon with Ghost in the Shell. Then we're going to count down our top 5 live-action depictions of cartoon in cinema, or just, I guess, based on cartoons films. There's some really, really good ones.
I'm sorry. Are you talking in circles again? Because it sounded like halfway through that you just started saying words.
Yeah, I sort of gave up on the intro. But then we're also going to be talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, continuing our Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Then what's the other one we're talking about? Oh yeah, we're talking about a Russian movie because apparently 2017 is the year of the foreign film on Movie Epidemic.
So we've watched like 3. Let's be fair here.
Oh, but that's more than I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, I understand that. So we're going to be talking about a Russian movie called The Guardians. It's essentially like Russia's answer to the Avengers, I guess.
Sure.
That's what you would call it. It's like a superhero movie with Russians. It's wild, but we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this the most Russian thing of all time? Spoiler alert. Yes.
All right. So do you want to talk about Ghost in the Shell?
Okay.
I got a lot to say about Ghost in the Shell because this movie has, as some movies do, a little bit of controversy around it. People are unhappy with this film because they think that you can't take a Japanese cartoon, a Japanime, as the adults call it, a Japanime. Yeah, a Chinese cartoon, and then make the main character American.
No Chinese cartoons in this house. Well, here's the thing. I've seen both versions of this, and guess what? Exactly the same, except for one glaring difference. No nipples in the new version, and that's wildly offensive to me.
Is it truly like very? Yeah, I've never seen like the 1995 original, but is it truly like the same thing?
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing, but with nipples.
But yeah, all right. I
mean, it's a little less subtle because it's for American audiences. But like, you know how that sound that's in like these kind of movies when they're just like leaning on a shot of something and it's like,
yeah, dude, I do. Yeah, it's almost like a Vuvuzuela just on one note.
There's a lot of that in the anime where it's just like looking at like city shots, cityscapes, and it's just like you're contemplating shit, but really it's about ghost in a robot, not that complicated.
So this movie kind of I want to touch on the whitewashing thing a little bit. Is that everybody is like, oh, this movie is whitewashing, and if you have truly said that Ghost in the Shell, the new film, is whitewashing, I'd take a wild stab and say maybe you haven't seen it. Maybe you haven't seen the movie because maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm dumb, but wasn't that like kind of the point of this movie? Like, wasn't like half of this movie sort of like taking a jab at the whole whitewashing thing, saying as there was a Japanese girl and then they stole her brain and a big American corporation put it into a fucking American person's body? Like, isn't that kind of the thing?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's sort of what I took from it, is that it was sort of jabbing at whitewashings intentionally.
Yeah, I think that's more edited for this version, of course, because the original is just a Japanese person. But I do see where you're
Yeah.
coming from because there are a lot of American characters in this, and they're all
yeah.
evil.
Yeah, and yeah, anti-American corporation is what this film, and actually a lot of films from the past like 5 years have been about. Yeah, very anti-American corporation. Now this movie came to, I would say, pretty low reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked it. I don't know, maybe am I crazy? I kind of liked it.
I think it's fine. I think it's completely.
Yeah, it works.
Especially because whoever was the production designer obviously subscribes to one of those aesthetics pages.
Best shot or whatever it is. One film shot. What's that called? That aesthetic page?
I don't know, but they subscribe to an aesthetics page for sure because everything was like vaporwave and fucking awesome.
Yeah, like it had like the cyberpunk aesthetic, and I like super loved it. Like when they were pretty much anytime they're panning over the city, like city pans drive me nuts unless you've created a beautiful looking city like this one. So hey, give me more city pans. I want more of them. But like if you're just doing city pans of New York for 2 minutes to segue scenes, fuck you. I hope you die. But this is neat. Like this is really cool. And like
I like a lot of like the cyber aesthetics too. Like the cyber geishas are awesome.
Cyber geisha is so cool. I like the giant holograms.
Yeah, the giant holograms are awesome. When Buddy installs those special eyes into him.
Oh, dude, it looks so
awesome.
fucking awesome, dude. This movie, like, see it for its aesthetic. Seriously, it is really cool to look at. Like, it is a very great movie to look at. I also think that for the most part, it's pretty well acted as well. Scarlett Johansson, she's good. Hey, but you know what buffaloes me, and like this just came to my mind. You know Juliette Binoche?
Yeah.
Hey, you can't stop. You can't keep talking about how much you hate blockbusters and then keep doing them.
Yeah, you can't do them. Hey, go do some more French movies that no one has seen. I like Juliette Binoche, but like,
me too.
Hey, you can't do them. Like, if you're just gonna be if you're gonna be the French indie lady, gotta be the French indie lady. Can't be like, I'm gonna also do Ghost in a Shell real quick. The biggest budget fucking controversy movie of the year.
Yeah, they're like, she's like, and like she always does this. Like she did it with Godzilla as well, and it's like can't just keep doing that. And she's like, I only did Godzilla as research for Clouds of C. Marie, and it's like, nah, you did it for money.
Yeah, you did it for money.
Yeah,
and that's
believed it. I believed it at the time until I saw her show up in this movie, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Technically, this movie is like, it's not as deep, I would say, as the anime. It's more about like, like your fucking spirit and shit. But this one's more just of a blockbuster good time, and I think that if that's what you're looking for, it's completely serviceable to that. Cool visuals. Some of the dialogue is not very good in this movie, and some of it's like the first line of dialogue is the least subtle thing I've ever heard in my life, where she like brings up Scarlett Johansson, and she was like, we built a shell and put your ghost in it, and I'm like, okay, yeah,
we're just jumping, we're doing that fucking immediately, we're just doing shit like that.
But it's like, I don't know if anybody's seen the original recently, but it's full of like the same like stilted ass dialogue. Maybe it's just I watched the sub version even, and like, I don't know if it's just the translation, but like it's still like nonsensical, just like stilted allegory and shit like that.
Yeah, and like this one's like, it's a little angsty. Like it's like clearly whoever wrote the original in 1995 big fan of Blade Runner, obviously, like super loved Blade Runner, and
Well,
so
yeah,
there, yeah,
this is very, especially the world is very Blade Runner inspired, but also like
yeah.
more comic-y than Blade Runner.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. But like somebody took, and I think this is actually a really cool idea for a movie. Somebody took Blade Runner and they're like, okay, but what if instead of the movie being about the Blade Runner, the movie's about the robot that they're trying to kill? And it's like that's
Sure.
neat. I like that. It's the role reversal. Obviously, Blade Runner 2049 is coming out, and I'm calling it right now. That's gonna be better than the original. I'm calling that right now. That's gonna be a good movie. Um,
Oh, I don't know about that, but maybe.
Yo, it's gonna be, dude. It's fucking Blade Runner with Ryan Gosling and Danny Villeneuve, dude.
Oh, man, but have you seen that director's cut of Blade Runner recently? Woo,
Oh
that's
yeah,
fucking crazy movie.
yeah, that's true.
That's one of the
Yeah.
biggest budget like pseudo action movies where it's like, oh, David Lynch could have directed this shit. It's like
it's
so surreal and weird.
it's such a wild movie because it's like got like this giant budget with these giant like amazing aesthetics for the time, and they're like, but we gonna write this blockbuster like indie movie. It's like, what? That's wild, Ridley.
Oh, this is gonna be an avant-garde sci-fi? Huh. I don't know if audiences are gonna like that. Apparently they do.
Yeah. Now this Ghost in the Shell, this movie does use a I guess you could call it a trope that I'm not a big fan of. I've seen it in 10,000 movies at this point, but I am at a point now where I hate the amnesia trope. I've seen it so many goddamn times where it's like, oh, who am I? I don't know who I am. And then the whole movie is trying to figure out who you are. Like I've seen that so many times now that it's
And then a Moby song plays at the end.
yeah, exactly, dude.
So many places, so many names. I don't know where my face is.
Yeah.
That's my best impression of a Moby song.
So before seeing this movie, I knew that Beat Takeshi Kitano was going to be in it, and I knew
Oh, we love Beat.
Yeah, I knew who he was, but I've never seen him in anything before. So I was like really excited because I'm like, oh, this guy's like a Japanese acting legend. For the first half of the movie, dude doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. He's not even acting. He just comes in, the words spill out of his mouth in Japanese, which is crazy. That's the craziest part about Beat Takeshi, because like, you know, they really want to beat Takeshi, and he was like, no, I will come there and I will be in this movie, but I will not speak a lick of English. I am going to speak full Japanese, and everybody else in the movie is going to speak English, and we're going to have like back and forth conversations, but I will only speak Japanese, which is crazy for a couple of reasons. Number one, that means that Beat Takeshi had to memorize his lines flawlessly without relying on cues. That's the craziest thing. Like, that is so wild to me. It's also crazy because why? Like, why was there one guy speaking Japanese? Everybody just have him speak English, or have them all speak Japanese. Like, you can't just.
There's another movie that has Beat in it, and it's called Brother, and it's about like this Japanese guy, and his brother comes to town and he wants to take over the mafia, and it's Beat Takeshi, and everybody, and Omar Epps is in it, and everybody's speaking English except for Beat. And it's
like is it in his contract? He's like, will not speak any language but Japanese.
I think it has to be. Everybody should check out Brother from 2009. That movie is awesome.
The crazy thing about Beat Takeshi being in this movie, though, is that like it sort of works. Like it seems like, given what we just said, that it wouldn't work, but it kind of does. But like in the second half of the movie, dude's like, oh, you wanted to see why I'm a Japanese acting legend? Oh, well, let me show you real quick. And then he starts acting like a beast, dude. He's so good in the second half of this movie.
Yeah, I really like a lot of the people in this movie. Like Michael Pitt is the greatest man to ever live. He's not in it a lot, but
he's good. Yeah. I love Chin Han. I'm a big fan of Chin Han.
Powerful.
Yeah, he loves calculation.
Dude, he loves calculation so much.
Dude, I can't believe how much he loves calculation. But yeah, Chin Han, I absolutely love. Yeah, and I think there's a lot to be said about Scarlett Johansson at this point. Like, I think at one point she was sort of a generic Hollywood actress because she was good looking, but she's come a long way, I think, and she's very good in this movie.
Sure, and it completes the Scarlett Johansson as a robot lady trilogy. So
Oh yeah, yeah. What was that Luke Besson one that she was in, where she became a computer or she
yeah,
became the internet? What was that?
Lucy
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and her, I would put her in
Oh
there.
yeah. Shit, she's a robot in that one too. She's the internet in both those movies. That's crazy. Is that what's gonna happen? Ghost in the Shell Part Two? She becomes the internet.
I don't know. I've never seen Ghost in the Shell Part Two.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That Luke Besson film, the Lucy, that movie fucking blows, dude.
Yeah, it's very bad.
I saw a
It's a very
poster
bad
for
film.
I saw a poster for Luke Besson's new movie. What's it called? It's like Valerian or
Yeah, Valerian and the City of Tomorrow or something.
yeah, something like that. But like on the poster, it was like from the legendary director of The Professional, and I'm like, I think that's not what that movie is called. I'm pretty positive that he did not direct a movie called Leon the Professional, but not just
Mm,
The Professional.
it's named The Professional uh
In North America, because I've
uh
never seen it billed as Leon the Professional.
it's Leon the Professional, but I've seen it on like covers as The Professional.
That's wild, dude. Why would they do that? That's
I've also just
absolutely
seen it called Leon. So
well, yeah, because Leon is like the title. The Professional is like the subtitle, isn't it? It's like Leon colon the
Edge of
Professional.
Tomorrow again and again. What is the new one? It's like have you seen
Oh,
that?
live, die, repeat, and repeat, or something like that.
Hey, are we doing Die Harder?
Yeah,
But
are we
first of
really?
all, it's called Edge of Tomorrow. Call it Edge of Tomorrow too, for sure. But really, you're trying to change the movie's title to its tagline. We love taglines here on the show, but not title.
Yeah, dude, it's a wild choice, dude. I can't believe they did that. One thing I will note about this movie, we talked about a lot of the aesthetic of this movie and how great it is. Like the neon specifically is really great, but in scenes where there really isn't very much neon, I feel there's some lighting issues. There are some scenes that are just a little too dark, and some scenes that are a little bit too light. You know, like do you know what I mean? Like there's the scene where she's fighting the giant spider robot, which by the way, Week of the Giant Spider Robot here on Movie
Powerful.
Epidemic. Yeah, very powerful. But like I just felt like that wasn't lighted quite properly, like almost, but not quite. It's a pretty close nitpick, but it's just something what I noticed.
Anyway, that's Ghost in the Shell. It's fine.
Yeah, your dad will love this movie. Like your fucking dad's gonna love Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, he'd probably find it interesting. He'd be upset that there's no nipple though.
He'd be like, "Hey, buddy, where's the nip at?"
Yeah, where's the nip at here, bud?
There's even like a scene in this movie where you see like Scarlett Johansson's full boob without a nipple, and it's like, what?
Put a nipple on there, even if it's a photoshopped Asian nipple on there. To clear the whitewashing controversy, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Make everybody a lot less angry.
Now they're going for that PG rating. I get it, but like, put a nipple on there.
Either way,
Because
I
the
mean, I
original
don't.
is basically pornography. So,
Oh, dude, so much anime is pornog though. Like that, it truly
yeah,
is.
it is. Yeah.
So it's made by a bunch of fucking sickos, you know.
Sickos. Japan is full of sickos. Come on the show, defend yourself, Japan.
Sickos and businessmen, and most of them are both.
True.
No, that's a joke. We love Japan.
Are you only like if you're in Japan? Are you only allowed to be a businessman or an artist? Are those the only two options?
Or you can make cell phones. That's also an option.
Oh yeah, slave shops, but that's more China, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe, but like, can you? Oh, I guess if you're like making, I mean, like you're manufacturing, but like I guess that's more on the businessman side of things. If you're like working
Seems
at
businessman to me.
fucking Sony or something, yeah. So Ghost in the Shell. I like it. I like it. I thought it was good. I think I would watch it again. I think I don't know if I'd own it, but if somebody put it on, I wouldn't stop. You know, I wouldn't leave.
Oh yeah, I'd watch a Baby Blue if someone had it.
Yeah,
Like, hey, you want to
absolutely.
throw on this Baby Blue?
Yeah, shit, yeah, dude. This movie would look great in Baby Blue. I think this is because like that is the main draw of this movie. Is it looks fucking fantastic. Like it's a great looking
Sure.
movie. The action sequences are all really cool. Yeah, I liked it. I don't give a shit about the controversy. This movie was fun.
Hey, maybe just watch. Hey, maybe settle down and just watch a movie.
Yeah, watch it as a movie. Why we gotta do anything but watch it as a movie? Don't compare it to the original. Just watch the movie. You know.
So this was based on a cartoon.
Yeah. A Japanime cartoon.
What other
Eject.
movies do you like that are based on a cartoon, Charles?
Oh shit! Are we doing top 5 movies based on cartoons?
That's right.
Oh
Yeah, that's
shit!
right.
Well, for my number 5, do you remember when somehow they pulled in Walter Matthau to be Mr. Wilson and Dennis the Menace? Remember how wild that
Jesus.
was?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, this one is 100% on here just because like I liked it a lot as a kid. This is a really fun movie though. Like,
He shoots the pill down his throat.
Oh, dude, that's Walter Matt. Like the cast is also like wild, dude. It's like B. Arthur. I think it's B. Arthur in that movie, isn't it? It's like B. Arthur,
Probably.
and Walter Matthau, and fucking Christopher Lloyd. Like, how do you get these people? How do you get these people to be in? How do you pitch a script called Dennis the Menace to those people, and they say yes, dude? It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm starting to wonder if maybe actually it was not B. Arthur because that sounds wrong, right?
Well, it doesn't matter, Sam Witwicky. We're looking for the Allspark. My number 5 is Transformers, baby.
Yes, dude. Transformers is good, dude. Like the original with the beef.
Yeah, with the beef, of course. That one's the best.
The first one with the beef is like actually pretty good. Like I
It's
remember
not
leaving
that
the theater.
bad.
Yeah, I remember leaving the theater. The other ones, they're bad. Like straight up, they're bad.
Well, I kind of like the Marky Mark one just because it's bizarre, but
it's just a fucking spectacle.
but the first one I legitimately think is a pretty decent movie. So I don't really care if Michael Bay is destroying your childhood. Your childhood wasn't that good anyway. So
Yeah, absolutely.
let him destroy. Let him make some money, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, if we can take your childhood and then make it because you paid for it, right? Like that's the big thing.
Hey,
like,
you paid for it.
You continue to pay for it. That's the most preposterous thing is you continue to pay for it. These movies keep making billions.
Oh, you don't like the new Transformers? You paid for it though.
Yeah.
As far as
saw it twice.
That's a glowing review. If you paid even 1 cent for it.
So for my number 4, you're gonna have to bear with me, all right? Because I do have an explanation for this. My number 4 is Scooby Doo, and like that may seem that might seem like the craziest decision ever because this movie is in fact very bad, but I like it a lot for one reason.
Yeah,
the best cast film of all time.
Sure, absolutely agree.
Fucking Matthew Lillard still plays Shaggy because he's so perfect for that role. He keeps doing it, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry, Freddie Prinze Jr. How is he the greatest man to ever live?
Oh, he is Freddie J Town, dude. He is fucking Freddie J Town.
Yeah.
Fucking even like Sarah Michelle Gellar, perfect for Daphne.
Sure.
But the problem with this movie is you got that CG dog, and fuck bad. That looks bad. It's like it's most of the movie. It's so much of the movie too. That's the problem.
Those
much.
CG red monsters. It's like what are those guys?
The CG looks so freaking bad in this movie. Like it looks. Some of it looks like it was done in like paint. It's crazy, dude.
It is like a hilariously fun concept though, where they go to like a spring break party island that has monsters on it. Great concept. I love it.
Yeah, and Rowan Atkinson is running the park. It's so wild.
It's like Jurassic Park. It's so good. But it's not a good movie, but it's just like theoretically, it's just so good.
There's a really good part where one of the monsters accidentally gets onto a roller coaster and like, oh boy, that's a lot of fun. Yeah,
absolutely.
Super fun.
That's the Scooby-Doo I know and love.
Yeah,
monsters just like getting on a roller coaster and shit and they're running through doors.
Perfect. Yeah, and they're trying to take off his mask to find out who the scary man under the scary monster is.
Oh, it's fun. A real monster.
Oh no, dude, that's wild.
Amazing. My number 4. Do you remember that awesome Queen song for Flash Gordon?
Yeah, dude. Shit, that's
the reason alone Flash Gordon is on my list because
dude, was that song done by Queen?
Good. Yeah,
dude, that's the most crazy thing. I've heard that song a million times. I'm going to see Queen this July, and if
Savior of the Universe.
If they don't, now that I know that they do the Flash Gordon theme song, if they don't do it, I'm gonna be pissed, dude. I'm gonna be freaking pissed.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you haven't seen Flash Gordon, it's wild.
It's a crazy movie.
It's one of Flash Gordon, it's just like one of those movies where it's like none of this makes any sense and it's all on a green screen, but also the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So
isn't there like a part where he like jumps on like from cloud to cloud or something like that?
he's
Like
on like a
it's just
speeder bike in the sky, and it's like, how does this even exist?
who allowed this to happen?
Probably George
My
Lucas.
my number three. We already talked about it a little bit. We're looking for the all sparkets Transformers, baby. Super like this movie.
Sam Witwicky. Hey, don't call the character Sam Witwicky.
Shia LaBeouf. Just call him Shia LaBeouf because like that's what we all know. Like,
dude, call him Shia LaBeouf. Whatever.
like and have him like do quips where people are like, "Are you the Shia LaBeouf?" And he's like, "No, I'm not that one.
No, I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm just a kid from high school who likes the Transformer man."
Oh, hey, yeah, in high school, but you and Megan Fox are 30. So
the crazy thing about Transformers that I really like, the original Transformers, is that they looked at it and they're like cars that turn into robots. But there's the concept that got it. And then in the later movies, they're like, let's throw some science into this. It's like their cars
that is my favorite when someone like, because Michael Bay is the king of this, where he reads over the first paragraph of the Wikipedia page and he's like, all right, I got this. Don't worry about it.
He's also the king of taking something not convoluted and making it convoluted for no reason.
Exactly. It's like, hey man, you're just making a movie about an asteroid coming to Earth. Oh, so you're gonna hire an untrained space team of miners? That doesn't make sense.
He's like, don't worry, we'll spend the first 50 minutes explaining why each person was chosen. It's like, that's gonna make the movie 3 hours, Michael. Wouldn't do that.
The best thing ever. Hey, Pain and Gain, that movie makes no sense because it's so long.
Dude, I love Pain and Gain. It's Michael Bay's best fucking movie, dude.
Oh, I totally agree. But like, why is this 3 hours?
Hey, The Rock.
It's a simple heist movie.
Hey, The Rock, do more coke. For sure, do more coke. Dude, I was watching trailers yesterday for Baywatch, and that movie looks crazy because at first I was like, okay, this is going to be a movie with a plot, but I've come to the realization that it won't be. It's literally just going to be The Rock doing strong rock stuff. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, he's so strong. Hey, how strong is The Rock? Very strong.
He's like bench pressing like refrigerators, and you're like, what the fuck?
Every movie he's in, he gets slightly stronger.
Oh, dude, and I love it. Like, and like usually it's the other way around. If you see somebody strong, they're gonna get less strong as the years go by. You know?
Yeah,
he's getting bigger, dude. I'm getting worried about him. I'm worried.
You know what I'm excited for is the Jason Statham, The Rock, the Fast and Furious trilogy, which has been announced for after this next trilogy here.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be real good, dude.
Make them till I die. I don't care.
It's like James Bond. Just keep doing it until I'm not alive anymore.
My number 3, our boy Jon Favreau. This is Jungle Book, baby.
Ooh, Jungle Book's pretty good, man. Jungle Book's pretty good. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in here.
One quick thing though.
Yeah.
Don't have Christopher Walken sing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course. I think we talked about that at length. And the crazy thing is like when he's singing, don't just have him throwing like fruit at people. Like that's weird. That's a fucking bizarre scene, dude. It doesn't fit the rest of the movie because the rest of the movie is good.
Yeah.
My number 2. Have you ever seen Sam Rockwell as a little baby man?
Oh, you little baby boy. Hey, Sam Rockwell. You little baby boy.
Sam Rockwell is a little baby boy in 1990 with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, baby.
Oh man, baby, he's a little baby.
This movie is so much fun. Like this,
I love this movie. I saw it at a midnight screening last year. That's so awesome. And when Sam Rockwell comes on screen, and he's only on screen for about 5 minutes, and it's pretty deep into the film. People were wasted, and Sam Rockwell comes on screen, and everybody's like, "Sam Rockwell!"
just hooting and hollering for the Rockwell.
It was rowdy, dude.
Yeah, that movie, like honestly, like you go back and look at it. Yeah, the turtles don't look great, but honestly, it looks better than like most of the shit from the 90s. Like, think about it. Like,
there's this one scene in that movie, and my roommate. It was really late at night. It was like 12:30, 12:45. and my roommate was falling asleep, and he woke up right when they're in the sewer, and like the rat's holding a knife, and they're about to get into the ooze, and he woke up and he's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
He's like, he was pretty sure he was having like a fever dream.
Yeah, he didn't know where he was. He was like, "Where am I?" He had a beer and he was like spilling it because he fell asleep.
He's just flailing around on the couch. Nobody tie me down. Dude, that's wild.
Yeah,
What?
that's my number 2.
That's your number 2. Wait, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is also your number 2?
Yep.
Oh, dude, God bless, dude. It's official.
It is official.
It is official. My number 1. Now, this is obviously, and like, I think this goes without saying, this is the best film of all time that was ever based on a cartoon. Baby, it's Space Jam.
Oh, that's also my number 1. It's official.
Oh, it's official. Space Jam's the best fucking movie based on a cartoon of all time, dude.
See, I thought this one might have been cheating, but I put it on there anyway because it's too good.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Part of me was like, I mean, it's kind of cartoon, but I mean, Michael Jordan shows up like looking like Michael Jordan, so like, I don't think.
Hey, Michael Jordan, you try to pull off the Hitler mustache? That was so crazy. Remember when he tried to pull off the Hitler mustache for a few years?
In a fucking Looney Tunes movie.
Excuse me?
I'm just still sitting here waiting for Space Jam 2 starring Kobe Bryant.
Well, I think it was going to be
even
King James, LeBron.
You know what? Get them both in there. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Which was the one that did the raping?
That was Kobe technically, but it's all alleged.
Yeah. Who gives a shit? Get him in there. Roman Polanski's still working. Get Kobe Bryant in there. Why not?
Kobe's still basketball, and I think
throw fucking Jordan and Shaq in there too, man.
Dude,
Let's
bring them all back. Who cares? Make a superstar team.
Oh, what's the name of Jeremy Lin? Get Jeremy Lin in there. Holy shit.
Steph Curry. Let's see if Steph can act.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Let's just get all the basketball
brother.
Shit, let's have him. You know what? Fucking after
is Dennis Rodman back from North Korea? Get him back.
Another thing you could do too is like halfway through the movie, change the sport. Have the rest of the movie be a baseball movie with Jose Bautista. Jose Bautista teaching the Looney Tunes about baseball.
Now we're writing films. Let's get Tiger Woods in there. Let's figure this out.
Get Crosby, Sidney Crosby.
I want all athletes to act because it's either horrendous or the greatest thing of all time.
And then the second half of the movie is John Cena and The Rock teaching the Looney Tunes how to wrestle. That'd be crazy.
Oh my fucking God. Why haven't they made that movie? That seems like something WWF would have made.
Yeah, like honestly, they already made Scooby-Doo goes to WrestleMania. Might as well throw the Looney Tunes in there.
Have you seen the Flintstones go to WrestleMania? That's wild, dude.
Oh yeah, isn't it called like Viva Rockvania or something like that?
I don't know, dude.
They throw a rock in there.
On Netflix though.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to peep that shit immediately. Let's just make like a superstar movie with all of the athletes, dude. That's the best idea I think we've ever had on this show.
Absolutely.
God damn. Get Tiger in there. Who's that other guy? Rory McIlroy or whatever. The golfer who's not Tiger that they had to. Now all the video games are based on Rory McIlroy because you can't put like a wife beating man's name on a video game box art.
He's a young black man.
Yeah, alleged. Once again, alleged.
I think he actually did cheat on her. I think that's actually confirmed.
Yeah, it's like a fucking Conan O'Brien. Confirmed.
Anyway, that's the top 5.
Want to talk about some cheesy Pirates movies?
Okay.
All right. So Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Terrible dialogue is still there, but
it's not as bad.
Yeah, it's there less. This movie is like far and beyond a better movie than the first movie, though. Like by a lot. This is like, yeah.
I don't know if it's technically a better movie. There's things that I like more in it, though.
Well, here's the thing: is that you and I were talking about this movie the other day, and you had made a point. You're like, that the thing you didn't like about it was that it was all set up. And,
it's all set up.
It's all set up for the third movie. But like, here's why I think that's okay. All right, here's a few reasons why I think that is fine that it's all set up. Number one, because this is the second movie in the franchise. If they did all their setup in the first movie, fuck you, because you don't know if you're making more movies. At this point, they knew, right? They're like, this is going to make $1 billion. We know. we're gonna make a third one. And reason number 2 is that the first movie didn't really have anything to say. And sure, this one is all set up, but at least it feels like it's going somewhere, you know? And the first one kind of doesn't feel like that. The first one doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It just feels like it's like watch these silly pirates for a couple hours.
Yeah,
And
but this does the thing that I hate the most in sequels, where it gives you no resolution. Like, can you like resolute something? Why? Like,
I mean,
I have to watch two. Okay, it's 2.5 hours. Have an A story.
I guess I see what you're saying that there should be, but like again, like if it's all part of a franchise, especially a franchise where they intend for you to see them all, like
Okay, but
I
don't
think
make it 2.5 hours if you're not going to give me even a lick of something. Like,
yeah.
I just sat there and I'm like, oh, now I have to watch the next one. I don't I know I saw this in the theater, and I assume I was pissed at the end of this movie
I was
because
definitely pissed.
I was definitely upset. But I mean, there are things that I like a lot more in this movie. Like Davy Jones is clearly better than Captain
Oh my,
Barbossa.
he's the fucking best villain, dude. Like he's so great as a villain. Bill Nye knocks it out of the park, dude. I love Bill Nye. I love the squiggly beard. I think I've mentioned that before.
You fear death.
Yeah, this one, yeah. Do you feel death? This one's definitely. I think you mentioned earlier that it does have a 2.5 hour runtime. I think this one's a bit too long.
Too long.
Yeah, I felt that way about the first one as well. More so about the first one than this one, but I still think this is too long. I think this could have been cut down to 2 hours. But in the same token, there were some times where there were things that they just sort of scrape past that I kind of wanted to know more about. For instance, the cannibals. You're just gonna throw that in and be like, oh, he's the god of the cannibals. It's like how that happened.
Well, this one is interesting because like it does that 45-minute intro where they're trying to find Captain Jack, right?
Mhm.
And what? They just found him. Okay.
Yeah.
What 45 minutes?
It's like 45
20?
minutes of him asking around, and then one guy's like, yeah, I know where he is. It's
Yeah,
like
one
what?
guy. And
Ask that one guy first.
directly there.
There's also like sort of I would call it sort of an inconsistency, and I get why they did it, but so essentially when they get to the cannibal island, essentially what happens is that they make Jack the king of the cannibals, and then they put his crew into a ball prison, and yeah, a ball prison that dangles over. And then Orlando Bloom shows up with his own crew of sailors, and they're all like, and then the cannibals take them prisoner as well. And he puts all of Orlando Bloom's crew into one ball, except Orlando Bloom, who he puts in the first ball. It's like, what? What?
Oh, I'm sorry. How did they get that ball?
Yeah.
Hanging over the side.
Yeah, it's just, it seems wild to me that Orlando Bloom ended up in that one. And the reason is, and spoilers, this movie came out like fucking a decade ago, so who cares? The reason is that the one ball falls off the cliff and everybody in it dies, and can't have Orlando Bloom dying, right? And you can't have the other main characters.
You have to have because you have to have this one single gag. They did it for one single gag where they're like, you only need about 6 people to man the boat. Oh, okay, there's the gag.
Yeah, there it is. Uh-oh, each ball has 6 people in it, so they all got to race to the top. Hey, just because you need 6 people to man the boat doesn't mean the boat can't fit 12.
Can fit 12.
Yeah, can fit. There's a part of this movie where there's like
can fit 30.
Yeah, there's like a
45.
There's like 100 fucking people on the boat after he goes and hires all those people. There's like 100 people on the
100 souls, dude.
Yeah, 100 souls. I just want to do fucking Bill Nye impressions for like 90 minutes.
One of my favorite scenes in this is when Captain Jack is negotiating about the souls, and he's like, this guy's got to be worth at least 3.5 souls. What are you talking about?
He's like, 1 soul. It's like, that's good shit, dude. That is good shit. All of the actors in this movie, once again, knock it out. I fucking love Johnny Depp in this movie. Really fun character. Orlando Bloom kills it. Bill Nye, amazing. Stellan? Yo, you got Stellan to be in this movie? That's crazy. That's crazy wild, dude. But he's great, and I love it. Keira Knightley, I think this is when she started to stop giving a shit. Because she gives like a solid 40 in this movie, which is fine.
Well, she's not good.
Yeah.
But
He was
You
apt
know,
in the first movie, I'd say.
yeah, she plays to her strengths.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a fun swashbuckler, but it's like this thing is just repeating itself. Like I just feel like the entire time, like all of these movies, it just feels like the exact same thing happens like 8 times, even though it's slightly
Well,
different.
it's generic events, and then they just say like pirate words. You know,
Oh yeah.
like sometimes they're like to the locker with you, and it's like, okay, but you never show Davy Jones's actual locker. But so what
Show
does
me the
that mean?
locker.
Yeah, what does that actually mean when you say to Davy Jones' locker? Um, I did mention earlier there is some really bad dialogue, and this movie has probably two of the worst pieces of dialogue I've ever heard in my entire life that I would like to go over real quick because I'm
Yeah,
just Buffalo.
absolutely.
There's like a part at the beginning of the movie where Will Turner is getting arrested for helping Captain Jack Sparrow. And so he's arresting Will Turner, and Keira Knightley's there. And he's like, do you remember a certain pirate named Jack Sparrow? And then simultaneously, Keira Knightley and Will Turner go, Captain. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. And they're like, Captain Jack Sparrow, like trying to defend his honor. But then like 3 scenes later, he meets up with the guy who was arresting him and tries to negotiate. And he's like, oh, do you remember, like, let's talk about your old friend, Captain Jack Sparrow. And he's like, I don't know if I call us friends. It's like, you defended his honor while you were getting arrested, and now you're saying that he's not really your friend? So that's fucking preposterous. But then there's also another line of dialogue that just blows my goddamn gourd apart, dude, where they're like fleeing the cannibal island, and then and like this one's also Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom is like, we can't leave without Jack. And then Jack comes running around the corner. He's like, there he is. And they're all excited, like, yeah. And then all the cannibals are like chasing him like close behind. And Orlando Bloom goes, time to go. And it's like, what the fuck? Who wrote that? Who wrote that?
It's weird because like I used to think it was like Orlando's delivery, but like now that I've seen it recently, it's like that's not really the problem. It's just like horrible dialogue.
Yeah, because like Orlando Bloom is so good, dude. I also think Naomi Harris. Oh Jesus, dude.
Oh yeah, she's the best.
Holy
I don't really
God,
like
she's
that
good.
character that much, but like she's very good.
You know what? I do. I really like that character. I think it's a sort of a weird fortune teller. Like it feels like should be New Orleans, but really enjoy it. Honestly, I do really like that character a lot.
I like her less when she turns into the god of the sea. That's a little why do that? Why we gotta
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, absolutely. But her interactions with Johnny Depp are like really, really interesting, really funny, I'd say. The part, look, I'm a fan of the simple things. All right, I like the simple things in life, and the part where she gives him the jar of dirt, that is a great bit. Like that is really
Yeah.
funny. Where she's like, well, if you don't want it, give it back, and he's like, no, like that's funny. That is a really good bit.
Yeah.
Now, what's his name? Davy Jones. He has a crew. He has a crew of scary fish monsters.
Yeah, they're so scary.
Scary fish monsters, and all made with shiny CG. Looks bad. Yo, fucking those fish monsters look really bad. But like for some reason, Stellan Skarsgård's character looks great and looks
Well,
like
I think most of him was like actual. They put like oysters
prosthetics
on
and
him
stuff. Yeah, just fucking like just do that. Like make it all practical.
But then you have
Who
like
cares?
you have like the hammerhead shark guy, and you're like, oh, that's shiny though.
Yeah. Also a big fan of the old pirate that's part of the wall. He's like he got so old that he just morphed into the wall, and that his brain
Yeah,
is just like in the wall. That's really good. And like that one actually kind of looks good too. Like even like CG wise, that one actually kind of looks good.
He's too spooky for me, honestly.
When they're when they're on Davy Jones' ship, they find out that there's like a dice game that they play to like bet on like how many years of servitude to Davy Jones they have. I've seen this movie probably 10 times in my life, and I have tried so hard to understand what that dice game is and how it works. Cannot figure it out. And then like at the end, like I can't figure out what the game is. And at the end, it's like, well, Will Turner, you're free to go ashore. And it's like, wait, he won? How did he win? I'm so confused. Like it looked like he had lost. He was like, welcome aboard. And then he's like, you win. It's like, what the fuck just happened? I'm so confused by this dice game.
Well, I mean, I can explain it if you want, but that might ruin some of the mystique.
Yeah. It's like the no, you know what? Throw it away. Let's understand. Let's play the game.
Okay.
That's really
Well,
nice.
it's have you ever played a game that involves counting like tricks or
Yeah, yeah, like kind of
something
like
like that?
wizard.
Yeah, sure. It's the same idea but with dice. So uh he- Will Turner in this movie, he calls that there will be, I think it was three sixes on the table or something along those lines. So it's basically the same as that, and then you show your dice, and then whoever bid the highest and got it correct wins. And then his dad bets 12 sixes, which is very unlikely. So in fact, his father loses because he overbet him.
Okay. Pretty neat. Okay, yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I don't think I could play it, but I get it, sort
Well,
of.
I do like that when his dad's like, do you understand the game? And immediately he's like, no, I get it. It's fine, I get it. But clearly you don't because you lost.
You know what's crazy about this movie is that the score is really, really good, but the only reason it's good because it's the exact same fucking score from the first one. It's the same one.
Yes,
Like there's
it is.
no original music. It's insanity. It's just that same theme over and over again. There's also a really cool three-way sword fight between Norrington, who's a villain from the first movie, who comes back and is sort of like a pirate in this one. It's kind of cool, actually. I kind of like that.
I
Uh,
really like
yeah,
that actually.
yeah, that dynamic is really cool. So Norrington, Orlando Bloom, Johnny Depp, they're all having like this three-way sword fight, and I would love this sword fight so much more if Keira Knightley wasn't screaming her fucking head off in the background. Like, oh my God. Like, she's like, how could you be fighting? What are you doing? Don't do it. And I'm like, Kiera, I'm trying to watch a sword fight here. It's a three-way sword fight, Kiera. This is wild.
Your impression of Keira Knightley sounds like every Monty Python when they're playing a woman.
Don't go into the basement. Oh my God. There is like a bit too that like near the end of the movie, near the climax of the movie, obviously there's going to be like the Kraken attacks the ship, so obviously there's going to be a lot of death.
That's
Yeah,
actually we do like.
there's going to be a lot of pirate death in that scene. The Kraken, it's great, by the way. Even kind of looks good CG. Not when it like shows its like full face, that looks kind of bad, but like just the tentacles look all right.
Mm-hmm.
But they do something that I think is really smart, where like Davy Jones does want him to go and get those 100 souls, and he does. He tries. He goes to Tortuga and he recruits a shitload of people, and that is really smart, because then you get a bunch of characters that you can nonchalantly kill off, and it looks cool, and I don't care about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that was honestly a really smart move. Also, hey, Keira Knightley, if you're 5 feet away from your fiance, don't kiss another man.
Oh, or do.
Yeah, don't do it. He 5 foot away.
Or
Now he
do,
gonna,
but own it.
yeah. Now he's gonna sulk the rest of the movie, and it's just gonna be Orlando Bloom sulking. Is that what
Oh,
you
you gonna
want?
sulk?
Oh, no, thank you. Don't make out with Johnny Depp. He got like 7 black teeth.
Hey, this dude got black teeth.
Gross. Either way, like this one's really good. Like I super enjoy this one a lot. I do agree. Like there is absolutely no payoff, and just be prepared for that. Just be the only payoff is like, hey, the third one is also on Netflix. Like that's really the only payoff.
Yeah, it's like it shows up when you're watching on Netflix. It's like, would you like to watch part 3? You kind of gotta.
Yeah. Like seriously, Netflix should have like under like recommended. It should be like Pirates of the Caribbean Part 3, and then like one of these guys, the shrugging man. It's like he's watched number 2. It would make no sense for you not to watch this one. But the third one is 3 hours. Yo, it's fucking.
Oh, it's so long, but there's like it's very cinematic. It's maybe the most cinematic of the franchise. Whether or not you enjoy it or not doesn't matter. It's very visually pleasing from a pleasing franchise already. So
absolutely, I'm very excited to talk about that next week.
And then we get to watch the 4th one, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, like I almost regret picking Pirates just because it means we do have to watch that 4th one again. It's so bad, dude.
Is that one on Netflix?
Yeah, they're all on Netflix.
Okay.
They're all on Netflix. Thank Christ. So let's
I
talk
don't
about
own that one.
Yeah, I would never own that one. Let's talk about a Russian movie, a superhero movie.
Yeah, dog.
Woo-wee. I can't believe you made me watch this, dude. This movie is fun sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Like the mech spiders, like that's pretty cool. For
Oh, those Metal Gears.
yeah, for a foreign film though, like some of the effects look great, and then some of them look very fucking bad. Um, the guy who like disappears into like Black Shadow, that's cool. Like it looks cool.
He's basically hammer and sickle version of the Winter Soldier, who already is kind of Russian.
Well, to me, he feels like the Flash, but with swords. And like when I was seeing that, I was like, "Hey, DC, give Flash swords."
Yeah, give him swords.
He's like, "Oh, I can run really fast." It's like, and then what? You punch somebody?
Oh, give him a sword so he can slice through.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, you fucking already made 14A goddamn Batman movie. Just make it hard. Make it hard R.
Yeah.
Who cares anymore?
Obviously, my favorite is the Bear Man, because that's the most Russian thing ever. He looks horrible, but like doesn't really matter because he's Bear Man. But like the best thing about it is he just turns into Brown Bear. That's his superpower. Like it's not even a strong brown bear. It's just a brown bear.
It's not like, yeah. What's
they
crazy
they eventually give him a war turtle gun on his back, but just brown bear.
Yeah, it's one of the most wild things ever. One of my favorite things about this movie is that they skip right over the origin, which is really great. But they skip over the origin and they're like, but we got to do something. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God. So then they have 40 minutes of recruitment. Fucking don't do that. I hate that shit. Just have them be a team already. I understand the concept at this point.
I get it. They're Russian.
They're a team. They're a team of superheroes.
It's so similar to the Avengers. They even have a knockoff Scarlett Johansson. Like, if there was any black people in Russia, they would have had a Nick Fury for sure. But there's not.
Yeah, there's not a single black person in Russia. I think that's confirmed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then they do the fucking amnesia trope again, dude. This is that same thing where they're like, she doesn't remember who she is, and like clearly we all know who she is because she's clearly dating or was married to the Bear Man, which is crazy. Which is crazy. Don't marry a Bear Man for sure.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Another thing too is that during that recruitment scene, they go to recruit the Asian guy with the who can like run fast and with the swords or whatever. I can't really. Like, he was Asian, right? Like he was wearing a mask the whole movie, so it was tough to tell. Well, he looked Asian. Yeah,
he's that kind of like Siberian, where they're like kind of the top of China and the bottom of Russia. So he's probably Russian. But
so when they were doing the recruitment, they found the invisible lady. She was doing opera and like swimming Olympics or something like that, or like diving or something like that, and she would turn invisible in the water, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That seems legit. Then you got the Bear Man. He's living in a cabin in the middle of the woods. Makes sense.
Absolutely, 100%.
Asian guy was just sitting in the middle of the desert, just like cross-legged, it's sitting down in the desert.
Yeah, Rockman. He's like he's in a monastery.
Yeah, a broken monastery.
Makes sense. He's a rock man.
I mean, I guess. He eats
rocks. He eats rocks.
Like the fucking guy from Neverending Story. That was another thing.
I kind of like the Rockman though. He was kind of like an original thing.
Yeah, Rockman. Like some of the superpowers in this are really cool. The Rockman. I like the villain in this movie has. By the way, the villain is a very generic looking human being. He looks like Mickey Rourke, and
he's so ugly.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Mickey Rourke, but his power is really cool. Where he can control vehicles. That's pretty neat. I kind of like that.
He controls electricity or something. He's cool.
Yeah. Wait, is it Mickey Rourke? Is that Mickey Rourke from Iron Man 2? Is it the same guy?
Oh, shit, it might be.
I'm pretty sure.
If not, they lifted it.
Yeah, dude, that shit's lifted. A lot of shit is lifted in this movie.
Sure.
Fair, like, even the soundtrack feels like bootleg Avengers.
Yeah, it's all bootleg Avengers, even down to, like, the HQ where they have, like, the Guardian symbol on the wall.
Oh, and here's where I think the biggest problem lies is like the movie starts to ramp up. They got the people all together. They go and do their first fight and then they lose. And then there's like 40 minutes of exposition, like 40 minutes of it. Like it's so boring. Like it's so long after that first fight before they
just give them the guns and stuff.
Yeah, just let them do some stuff. And like that's another thing that buffaloes me. Okay, so they're trying to stop this bad villain man. And dude is like in the final phase of his master plan, and like he's like hours away from fulfilling like being able to control every machine on the planet and being able to kill everybody. They're like, oh, I know he's hours away, but let's just squeeze in a training montage. What? Are you crazy? You don't have time. You gotta just go and do it. Like, are you crazy? Oh man. The big problem with this movie though is that it really does. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this formula. I'm sick of it. Like the fucking good guy and bad guy thing that we've seen from Marvel. And like maybe the fucking straw in my back is just getting decimated at this point, because I've seen all these superhero movies, and honestly, this isn't even just strictly Marvel. It's DC as well. And even some of Fox's stuff with like X-Men Apocalypse and stuff. For the most part, Fox is doing the Lord's work out there. But
yeah, absolutely. Let them have X-Men. They can have it. Yeah, why couldn't they have it? They should have it.
Yeah.
Sony, give all of that shit back immediately.
Yeah, Sony's gonna ruin everything as they like.
Oh, you're gonna try and make an R-rated Venom not connected to the Marvel universe? Don't make that.
See, it's like the first half of that sentence is like, oh shit, yeah, and then the second half happens, and you're like, oh shit, no. Like, just make it connected. Like if it's gonna be connected, make it all connected. Don't connect some of it and then connect that with the stuff that is connected, but it's also not connected. It's so
convoluted. Oh, I'm sorry. We have this Spider-Man that we're going to use in our own universe in a Venom movie. No, got to be connected for sure.
Yeah. And like I'm just sick of this. Like I'm sick of this generic superhero bullshit. And I feel like I've screamed about it for like I think there's like collectively 100 hours of us talking about how fucking superhero movies are broken right now. And this honestly felt like they snagged a first draft Avengers movie and then changed it like only in name.
It's definitely not very well written, especially when it comes to how they defeat the bad guy. It's like, I don't even know what that is.
What the fuck was that? They were like, hey, let's all just hold hands and then make an energy ball. And it's like, wow.
Oh, you could do that the whole time? Maybe just blow up the building.
Yeah, how do that? You know, how do that? You know?
Oh, something that has never even came up for the rest of the film?
That's the conflict resolution.
Yeah, it is bad. But there is some scenes that I just like, they're my favorite thing of all time. Like when he turns into a full brown bear and then his wife is riding on his back. It's like, excuse me? That's the most Russian thing I've ever seen.
That's pretty good, but I do actually have a pick with that scene. This is gonna sound weird, but this comes from a man who loves finger. He turns into a full brown bear, and like full brown bear, and then when he turns back into a human again, he's got his pants back. Yeah, pants back, dude.
And you see the pants rip even in the 2 times he turns into a full brown bear.
Yeah, it's like, why pants back on?
Fuck, why pants back on?
Oh man. This is this really does feel like it's Russia's answer to the Avengers, and
yeah, it definitely is.
It feels more like, honestly, it feels more like an asylum film than its own thing.
Yeah, it has like sometimes the visual effects are very good, and then sometimes it's like, oh, is this Iron Sky I'm watching? Oh, I'm sorry, are we watching Iron Sky right now?
Like when the guy, like the Asian guy's like throwing knives and it's like hitting people, like the CG there looks fine, and then you see the guy turn into a brown bear and you're like, ooh, don't.
Half brown. I like when he's half brown.
Yeah. Ooh, eesh. Do not do that. Yeah, when he's still got the small legs, but the
I'm sorry, you still got human legs wearing pants. Top half brown bear. Wild.
Yeah, dude. It's like somebody took the Hulk and they're like, we're gonna make that way more fun.
Yeah, he's a way better version of the Hulk. Yo, scrap the Hulk completely after Ragnarok. Make him brown bear. Steal that shit from Russia. They already stole it from you.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm fairly certain this was part of like some sort of Disney leak in the industry. Like,
go buy this Guardians franchise. Put Brown Bear Man in Marvel Universe. He's the best. Keep him Russian.
Scrap. Maybe you know what? Maybe keep Lair. Keep Lair because that's the Rockman. That's pretty good.
Oh, Rockman's cool though. I like Rockman.
Yeah, keep Rockman. Scrap the Water Lady and scrap Flash because don't need that.
Water Lady, no powers at all. Hey.
Yeah, dude, that was the least interesting character. I hated that. Like, it was just so crazy because like
at least Jessica Alba could make shields and shit. You know,
she can't do anything, and she can't even turn invisible unless she in water. It's like,
Oh, I'm
Crazy.
sorry. That's like that just shows how much Russians respect women. They're like, okay, we got Strong Rock Man, we got the Flash, we got Brown Bear Man, and Lady can only turn invisible if she in water.
Yeah. One
Oh,
thing
I'm
that
sorry. Is that that's like a would you rather superpower?
uh, um, one thing I did want to mention about this movie too is that the version that I watched was clearly not the same version that you watched because whoever made the subtitles on the version I watched doesn't speak English as a first language, clearly. So like it was mostly fine, and like I could still tell what was going on, which in a movie like that, like that's all that's important. You just gotta fucking read the exposition. But sometimes it would be like, we need make defense to beat man, and it's like, what the fuck? Like it was wild, dude. It was crazy. I should have wrote down highlights. That would have been good.
Don't worry, you didn't miss much. It wasn't very well written, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not. I think I caught everything.
You got the cliff notes, I'm sure.
But like, I'm glad to hear you say that you were as confused about the energy ball as I was, because I thought maybe that was something in my subtitles be like, did I miss something?
No, that was never explained. And then all of a sudden, they're across a river on like a boat dock that you would see James Bond crash into. But that was just like the set piece. Uh, and they're like, we're gonna make an energy ball, and they just like kneel over, and it's like, oh, did they die? Because like the Scarlett Johansson character is like, oh, you better not do the energy ball, you might die, and they're like, we'll take our chances.
another another thing that this movie does that just drives me crazy is like when a movie has so many different production companies that you start to think the movie's starting, but then it's just like another like production company intro. I'm talking like there's like 14 production companies that had to get their
And
bill.
there was that one movie that we watched that had like fucking 11. That was crazy. I can't remember what that was. It was
Yeah,
some sort of Hong Kong production thing.
yeah. It was like I think it was like some indie movie made in Hong Kong. It wasn't Great Wall though, but I know the one. I know what you're talking about. That was crazy. Yeah, I would say never watch this. Honestly, like I'm done. I'm done with fucking superhero movies. Like I can't take it.
I think it's interesting. I think
It's
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 interesting
cer-
to take.
it's certainly an interesting view. It's like you know what I would love to see is if they made like scrap all of the DC universe and make a DC universe based around the oh shit, what have you ever seen like Superman Red? Have you ever read that comic?
I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like where Superman is like a huge communist because like instead of crashing in America, he crashes in Russia. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just make movies of that. And Batman's like a fucking Arctic like climber. Like it's
Ooh,
crazy.
yeah, that is pretty cool. Make
Yeah.
some weird stuff. Hey, why don't we start making some weird stuff? It'll
Hey,
work for Guardians of the Galaxy. Make some
yeah.
weird shit.
Shit, yeah. Let's get some weird superhero movies going. That's why I'm excited about Thor Ragnarok. Cause like
Yeah,
I,
that looks weird.
that looks
Hey,
pretty
Jeff Goldblum, you looking weird, dude.
you're looking real weird and I'm in. Yeah. But and that's why I'm also not looking forward to Spider-Man Homecoming because it looks like I've seen that movie before.
Oh, Spider-Man Homecoming? No, weird.
Yeah, I've seen that movie before. I don't think I need any more. I want weird movies. Like I do. I love weird movies. Maybe that's why I kind of like Ghost in the Shell is weird. It's very weird.
Hey, this isn't like what they normally make. Very weird.
Very weird. Hey, this doesn't even have Bruce Willis in it. This is weird. So that's the show. Thanks, of course, for listening. Next week we're gonna be talking about what are we talking about? Fist Fight, Colossal, and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. It's 3 hours, so buckle up for that.
Ugh.
I can't. I guarantee.
I like the movie, but it's so long.
I guarantee that will be the first thing we mention about that movie. It's like, oh, so long. Doesn't need to be 3 fucking hours, you know.
All right. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on iTunes or whatever. At Last Cool Dude on Twitter.
Download on iTunes. We're getting close to 1,000.
Yeah, we're pretty close. We're at like 950 now or something around there.
Shit, yeah. So somebody go and download some podcasts. But download the pod.
Yeah.
Help a brother out.
Yeah, brother.
Brother.
Yeah, brother.
Brother. All right. Well, do.